Hi, my name is Chastity Beatty, and I'm a third grade teacher at Bee Cave Elementary. This is my third year in education. I'd like to share my personal reflection of my experience with the instructional coach Sarah Collier through the NextGen cohort. The first time I met with Sarah to set goals, I was a volcano of ideas. She reciprocated that explosion with real-world examples of how I could reach those goals. After an hour or so, we had nailed down a specific measurable set of goals to implement. The way I taught changed the very next day. The first time she came to observe me, she watched and jumped in when my lesson wasn't reaching everyone. She showed another way of thinking, and that helped my kids connect to the concept I was covering. Afterwards, she praised my efforts and reignited my fire that was very dull and very worn down on that Thursday afternoon. The first time I observed her, I watched a teaching revolution unfold. There were so many small ideas I saw her use that I could easily transfer into my daily routine to make my lessons more manageable. I implemented a few of them that very day. Then there were the medium ideas that I would need to think about, but that I could easily plan into my lessons to make them more engaging. I incorporated some of those the following week. Then there were the big, mind-blowing ideas that I will work all year that will change the lives of my students. All of this I got out of 1 hour, one observation. I have a master's degree in education from Texas State. I have probably 30 books on best practice and teaching techniques for different content areas, most of which I've read cover to cover. I learned more in those 3 sessions with Sarah than I have in my last 2 years working, plus the previous 2 years I was in grad school. This concept of on-the-job professional development, of peer coaching, is priceless. It's transcendent. I can take what I learned and apply it to any content area, any grade level. Sarah took what I only knew about in theory and put it into reality. And for me, that's the hardest part of becoming a better teacher. Putting these great ideas that I read about and research into practice in the classroom with real kids. Professional development is great, and I have sat through some really incredible trainings. And all the activities that we did worked perfectly with adults, with a room full of teachers. And then when I went into my classroom and tried those ideas, I was frustrated and I was unraveling because I couldn't figure out why wasn't this activity working with 8-year-olds or 10-year-olds when it had worked perfectly with my 30 to 40-something-year-old colleagues. The model of boots on the ground professional development with these peer coaches, with these instructional coaches, is really the epitome of professional development. No other method will be this applicable or this transferable. I really hope that the powers that be in this district recognize the potential of this system and fully support it going forward. I know I have been changed, and I will be a better teacher for the experiences that I have been afforded with Sarah Collier through this NextGen cohort.